guys, so Disadvantaged Journey here. We're down at Spanish Banks, Vancouver, BC, awaiting CamperCon tomorrow, and we thought it was a perfect opportunity, being such a beautiful day, to actually put a video out about something that we've been watching a trend about. Lots of people have been asking how to cool down your vehicle, your van, and if you have windows, one of the best ways is, of course, to tint them. We're gonna basically go over all of the laws regarding tinting of windows. I'm going to be pasting a link down below that goes through each and every province in Canada, and if you scroll down past all of the provinces, you'll see that there's a connection for every single state in the United States. Now, this particular website's a fantastic one. They check the laws and update the website very often, and they also have all of the laws reviewed by traffic legal experts. So we hope you like this video. If you do, please give it a thumbs up, and we always appreciate your feedback. If you wouldn't mind giving it to us, it really helps us choose the content that's going to be helpful to you and that isn't too overdone as well. So hope you like this video. Okay, first of all, let's get over some of the legal issues here. Now, tinting laws vary by province and state. They are not standard across any nation. Pretty much most of the provinces agree in certain areas, and the tinting laws that I'm discussing are tinting laws when it comes to aftermarket tinting. So some vehicles come with certain grades of tinting, and that's completely allowable under Canadian law. Now, if it's not done by the manufacturer, then you fall under these categories, and that's what we're going to be discussing. I'm primarily going to concentrate on Canada, but you can look up every law for every state at the bottom of the link that I'm going to be including. Now, there's also a few other things about tinting laws. Pretty much most places you can put UV tint with no shading whatsoever. So a completely clear UV film on your vehicle without any repercussions. And in Canada, pretty much you don't need any medical exemptions, or they don't allow medical exemptions, but in some of the states they do. Another thing that you're going to notice is that there is a huge range of laws, and residency does not determine legality. So what that means is you might be in a province that completely allows certain windows to be tinted in a certain amount, and you're traveling and all of a sudden a cop pulls you over and wants to give you a ticket regarding that. It doesn't matter where you come from, it matters what province or state that you're in. So just keep that in mind. These laws you should always check ahead of time if that's somewhere that you really want to go, because it always could be a possibility that you could get pulled over and ticketed. Now, I also want to remind you that tickets can usually range from $100 to $600 in most of the provinces for an infraction. They can also completely tell you can't drive your vehicle. It has to be towed to an inspection facility and go through that whole process. They can also make you correct it and pull off all of the tinting that you've done before you can actually continue driving. And basically, you can also be ticketed. So if you've been found breaching this law, you could actually even be ticketed for each time that you try to go and drive your vehicle afterwards for up to $200 and some or something. So it could be quite a costly thing if you don't want to comply. So do check these out, know ahead of time. It's always a great idea. Okay, so basically all the laws are based on the motor vehicle safety laws. And like I said, they do vary per province, and the first one that we're going to talk about is windshields. Now, a lot of provinces allow no tint whatsoever unless it was manufacturer done. There are some provinces that do allow a certain amount, like BC allows 3 inches of tinting, Manitoba allows 5 inches, and New Brunswick itself actually allows the entire windshield to be tinted, but only to a 70%. So when we're talking about percentages when it comes to tinting, that's about the visible light transmission, so the amount of light that's actually getting through. So in In this case, 70% is actually a lighter tint because only 30% of the light is being blocked. So just keep that in mind if we're talking about percentages. It's the visible light transmission when it comes to tinting. That's how they measure it. Okay, so the next important ones are the front side windows. So pretty much, again, most of the provinces don't allow any. I know a lot of states don't allow any as well. So just be very careful tinting either the driver or passenger side front windows. They don't usually allow them, and if they do, it's a very light tint. Again, like New Brunswick allows the 70. Manitoba actually surprisingly allows 50%. But I would be really weary if you're doing that coming from Manitoba into BC, because, well, not just BC, but a lot of the provinces are actually very serious when it comes to tinting. They want to be able to see you, they want to be able to see your hands, and they might not be able to do that, as well as it blocking your view on the outside as well. Some of the light that might actually catch your eye for your peripheral vision. Okay, so the next we have is the back side windows, and I'm going to include the back window in there because pretty much they're the same across all of the provinces. Most of the provinces allow any degree of tint on those windows. We opted for the darkest ones that you could possibly legally use, and if you do have your rear view or your rear window tinted, it is a legal requirement that you have both a left and right side rear view mirror. So I know that they do sell vehicles without them. I've seen them, and we've seen them in dealerships. So if you don't have a right side rear view mirror, you must have that if you're going to tint the rear window. Okay, so two final things I'm going to mention about the laws in tinting. There's another type of tint, a reflective tint, like a mirrored tint, and pretty much that's not allowed in most of the provinces. And even the ones that that do allow it, it's actually not recommended by any traffic safety authorities. So it's probably just not a good idea to go with reflective tint. Stay with the dark. The benefits are just the same, and it's actually safer. One other thing I'm also going to mention is that you're going to notice that Yukon is basically saying that nothing's allowed, and that's because the Yukon actually has very ambiguous laws that could be interpreted any which way. So if you do get pulled over by a cop and they decide to interpret it a certain way, you could be given a ticket or inspection or something for that. So let's talk about the benefits of tinting, and the number one is probably that it prevents up to 99% of UV rays from entering your vehicle. Now this is very helpful in many ways. It helps preserve the cost and keep the value of your vehicle because you're gonna not have as much UV damage in your vehicle, cracking of dashboards and vinyl, fading of any upholstery in any way, shape, or form in your vehicle, and protecting the contents that you have inside as well. Another important thing is that it helps protect your body as well. So it's going to protect your eyes from light damage. It's going to protect your skin from possibly skin cancer, age spots, sunspots, wrinkles, etc. So it's a good thing for your health and your longevity look to make sure that you have tinting on your windows. Another safety thing with tinting your windows is that it's actually a film that goes over the entire window, and in the case of an accident and the window's smashed, it'll actually keep all of that glass together so it'll all come out neatly instead of flying everywhere and possibly cutting your skin or damaging all your other things or going into the vehicle. If any of you've ever been into an accident, know that that glass can fly everywhere, and you can find it throughout the vehicle even years later, even after cleaning everything up. Now the next thing is that it prevents up to 70% of heat in your vehicle if you're going with a darker tint. This is really, really helpful in the summer, or if you're in a place like we are that you're getting up into like the 40°C mark, 100°F mark, and you want to keep cool in the summer. And of course, one of the most important things if you're trying to be a stealth van dweller is that it gives you a lot of privacy. And if you do forget something, that you should never do, but if you do forget something, a thief is going to have to work a lot harder to actually see that you actually have something left there. Now just keep in mind, even with completely darkest tint in your vehicle, if you turn on a light or you use your phone inside, people are going to see you from the outside. So we always use a combination of our windows are completely tinted, but we also do have curtains to close at night. And when we turn on lights, nobody knows that there's a light on inside, nobody knows that we're using our phone or can see that we have a television or anything else. So it's really helpful in that way. So just some final thoughts. We consider tinting a vital part of protecting your privacy, keeping your vehicle stealth, protecting yourself from heat and sun damage, UV rays, as well as your vehicle. It's a very useful thing. It's worth it. There are do-it-yourself kits out there, but we would recommend that you have it professionally done because it's really hard to get the film straight and get all the bubbles out without it looking like a do-it-yourself home job. So cheers to you. Hope you like this content. Let us know, and happy tinting out there.